Es ist gerade richtig hässlich hier, kalt, windig, regnerisch, also ugly, um das kurz zu fassen. Eine Zeit, wo man hier nicht viel draußen macht, auch nicht viel draußen machen kann. Die Aktivitäten verlagern sich nach drinnen, die Werkstatt herrichten, Dartboards aufhängen, backen, ganz wichtig, backen. Hört sich für euch lächerlich an, Plätzchen backen, ja mein Gott, Plätzchen backen. Aber hier gute, deutsche, leckere, richtig gute Weihnachtsplätzchen, das hat hier, wenn man so im Ausland lebt, eine hohe Bedeutung. Darum soll es aber nicht gehen in diesem Clip. Wir hatten vor 2 Wochen Troy hier, Troy Jessome von der Port Hawkesbury Paper Mill, die in Kooperation und unter Aufsicht der privaten Waldbesitzervereinigung im Januar, Februar bei uns Major Logging Activities, wie man hier sagt, also ernstzunehmenden Holzeinschlag vornehmen werden. Warum? Weil wir beschlossen haben, alle erntereifen Bestände unseres Waldbesitzes hier im Winter fällen zu lassen. Hätte ich nie gedacht, dass ich es mal tue, aber jetzt die Monate, wo wir hier leben, habe ich gelernt, dass das mehr als Sinn macht, aus verschiedenen Gründen. Die werden dann anschließend ökologisch wieder aufgeforstet. Und der Gedanke dahinter, warum wir das machen, darum geht es in diesem Clip. Als Troy hier war, habe ich mit ihm ein kurzes Interview zu dem Thema gemacht, in dem er aus professioneller Sicht darlegt, warum das durchaus Sinn machen kann, diese Waldbestände aktiv zu managen. Und darum geht es in diesem Clip. Viel Spaß und danke fürs Zuschauen und gerne kommentieren. Ciao! I'm here with Troy Jessome from Port Hawkesbury Paper Mill.
Yes.
Who is the Chief Superintendent International?
I'm the private land superintendent for Port Hawkesbury Paper. So I'm responsible for purchasing standing wood on privately owned woodlots in Cape Breton and eastern Nova Scotia for the mill.
So Troy, we own here 500 acres of land, which is 200 hectares in metric system, and decided to cut
approximately 40 hectares is earmarked for harvesting, selectively situated throughout the 500 hectares, isolated blocks of areas that are mature to over-mature softwood primarily, that is at or nearing the maturity stage of development. So
we leave the hardwood standing and cut all the softwood pine trees that are mature. And why would you say, if you in a German ear, and even when I came to Canada, I never would have thought we would do this, because we want to basically preserve and manage nature here on our land. Why would you say that, especially under this aspect, it makes sense?
Yes. Well, given the condition of the forest and the makeup, it's primarily, not to correct you, Frank, but it's primarily balsam fir.
Balsam fir, okay.
And some mixed white and black spruce. Given the natural disturbance regime of balsam fir, it's a relatively short-lived species. So when it reaches 45-50 years of age, whether you like it or not, or manage it or not, nature will look after it. If we can just turn the camera, I can show you a picture of what I'm talking about. There's some blowdowns here throughout the forest. There's considerable blowdown. It's at that stage of development where if you don't do anything with it, nature will look after it. So this is a way for Frank, for you to recover some monies from the woodlot, and to put it back into forest production. 2 years' time, we'll assess it again for replanting. Any areas that don't come back naturally in balsam fir or spruce, we will plant those areas, replant with white spruce, maybe black spruce seedlings. And
do you also plant hardwood?
No, we don't. No, hardwood in this part of the country, it'll have no problem coming back. It's a pioneer species. So once this area is cut in softwood, the first species to emerge naturally would be the shade intolerant species. Your white birch, red maples, aspens, pin cherries. They're most shade intolerant, and they'll be the species that.
So what I quickly learned, very quickly learned when we came into the country, that many of the mature woods look like what I just showed you. They are gray, dead wood that is also no habitat for animals, and the longer you leave it, the more it becomes prone to bugs.
Yes.
It becomes prone to wildfires in summer if you have a thunderstorm and lightning. Prone to wildfires, and that endangers then whole areas, and that is the reason why we decided to manage that forest, to cut 40 out of 200 hectares, so that is 20% of our whole woodland is going to be harvested because it's mature.
Yes. And
we want to bring, in cooperation with you guys, a new, fresh, diverse habitat, which is then also a worthwhile habitat for animals.
Yes, yeah. So when the areas is that Frank and I today are marking out some areas that are sensitive around the homestead, and he's got some future plans and a pasture.
Yeah, with cattle pastures and stuff. Yeah.
So we're doing that today, but previously to this, the area was flagged on the ground by the company, and so we're looking for any sensitive areas. Obviously, we have to leave wildlife clumps and buffers for the animals, and we also have to leave stream buffers along any water courses. We cannot travel in brooks, obviously. So that's been done, and the property itself, to mitigate the environmental impact or footprint, it's scheduled for harvest late January, early February, and in this part of the country, that's the best time of year. The ground is frozen.
The ground will be deep frozen.
Yes.
Yeah. And the heavy machines will have leave no impact on the soil.
Correct. And they are track machines, so their I guess their surface area is a lot better than a wheeled machine. Years ago, they used to have wheeled machines, and once they broke the sod, they just made ruts.
Oh, so they have tracks like tanks, you say?
Yeah, so exactly. So the surface area is distributed over the ground, and given February when ground is frozen, you further help that by.
And what I want to mention is that this cooperation with the Port Hawkesbury paper mill is supervised and under the auspices of the Cape Breton Private Land Partnership, which is the private wood owners.
Yes.
Co-op here in Cape Breton, and when this is properly done, the Cape Breton Private Land Partnership will come supervise that, and we will get for our forests here, for the managed woodland, the Forest Stewardship Council, which is an international quality.
Correct. Yes.
How do you say this?
The Forest Stewardship Council. So that's an internationally recognized certification.
So in other words, we cut trees, but this is for Greta Thunberg. Greta, we do this and enhance the quality of the forest land and the habitat. Yes. Regards to Greta.
So I was in contact with the folks at the private partnership and got a copy of the management plan. So given that, when they actually did their plan, to follow through with the plan on the ground, basically had to follow what they earmarked as should be harvested. I can't go outside of that plan. I can't cut an area where they didn't designate harvesting to be done. If so, you would not get certification. You'd not be a certified woodlot.
Then I come after you and kick your butt.
So it's a two-step process in the sense that we work jointly with the private partnership and follow through on the ground what they recommend should be done.
Okay, cool. Troy, thanks for the great cooperation. These guys are really great because they, in order to be able to work, they refurbished and renovated our forest roads, here our bush roads, a work that I would have done otherwise. So it's a mutual beneficial partnership that benefits both sides commercially, but also increases the quality of the habitat. Otherwise, we wouldn't would not get the FSC seal onto our land here in the future.
And,
Troy?
And the end result is you're going to end up with a sustainably managed forest. So,
yeah. Thanks for the short interview.
Thank you.
And thanks for the great cooperation.
Thanks. Very good.